So the major Season 3 details are coming out, and as to be expected when it's the 5-year anniversary and all of the marketing so far has been focused on the return of Verdansk, Warzone was the first thing up today in the reveals for Black Ops 6 Season 3, and honestly, there's quite a bit that you might be interested in. Drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 6 and other FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community. But also, make sure to check out the second channel for other games, guides, reviews, and more. I'd love to see you over there as well. But for now, let's get into it. So, top level, this is going to be discussing a load of the broad strokes here. There's genuinely so much that was revealed today that are specific details that will probably be parted out into other videos for more focused areas of discussion, but we also know that tomorrow is the multiplayer and zombies reveals for Season 3, meaning that while we get a roadmap today for Warzone, we're also going to have another roadmap for what's to come on the premium side of things as well tomorrow. Beyond that, it said we'll have another anti-cheat blog the day following that, so on Friday, and then on the 2nd, we'll have our normal battle pass and shop reveals, which frankly I don't care too much about, but also it's kind of weird because, well, the season will be launched by then. And if that sounds weird, you're not wrong, because first and perhaps the biggest thing is the premium and free launches of Season 3 now have two different launch times. The premium experience for Black Ops 6, multiplayer, and zombies will be going live now on the 2nd, 24 hours early, not the 3rd, and it will simultaneously kick off a free trial period for 24 hours for everything that Black Ops 6 has to offer. Because Warzone will actually go offline that day, you can't play it at all, this being in preparation for the launch of Verdansk on April 3rd. So there will be that 24-hour window where the free-to-play stuff of Warzone is entirely offline, but those who do not own Black Ops 6 and only play free, they can jump on and play Black Ops 6 Season 3, again, for absolutely no charge at that point for the entire thing in that 24-hour window. Moreover, that's actually how you obtain one of the weapons in Season 3. If you log in for the first day of Season 3 on Black Ops 6, that 2nd, you'll automatically get the Kilo. Presumably after that, it'll go to the Armory, where you can then earn it with XP as you play the new season, which, if that's actually how it ends up working out, it's not too bad, because if you play to earn the new weapons, you just progress through the battle pass through playtime, don't buy your way through it or anything, you'll end up getting the Kilo first at that point as you progress towards the others, making solid headway on those. But speaking of weaponry, it is confirmed the Kilo, AMAX, HDR, Kali sticks, and the Grau coming in mid-season as a conversion kit are all going to be in Season 3. The Kilo, again, is that free login reward on the 2nd. The AMAX and the HDR are battle pass rewards, and then the Kali sticks will be an event reward, which, again, speaking of, the Return to Verdansk event is going to be kicking off here with the launch of the season. This goes from the 3rd to the 15th and will feature a total of 20 rewards, including up to 6 instant unlocks for new and veteran players. Those instant unlocks include Domino and the Milsim operators, along with the Kilo for just simply logging into the game. Domino and the Milsim, though, are used in Warzone only. They're not coming over into Black Ops 6. So that weird little theory of like, well, that's interesting. We have Modern Warfare content coming into Black Ops 6, a Black Ops game, as a whole thematic season. That isn't exactly the case. I mean, obviously, yes, you're still going to have those crossovers with the weapons, but you do see Warzone-specific things returning at that point as well. You'll also end up getting the Blue Legacy Contrail, the Coming Home Parachute, and the gun screen like we never left. But beyond that, the event itself is an exploratory event where you have to look at and explore the different zones of the map for safes that you can end up looting and then completing the overall event with. You end up getting things like loading screens, emblems, calling cards, weapon decals, charms, sprays, emotes, and stickers, but you end up having the mastery rewards for the event being the Kali stick and the Kane operator skin, the Trailblazer. So that's some stuff to take part in, but let's talk about the reveal and what we know of Verdansk and the gameplay experience we're going to have with the launch of Season 3. So the TAC map we already saw, but that got reiterated. We also got a fly-through video showcasing the POIs, which is definitely great to see the return of this, the beauty of Verdansk in 4K, but the reveal blog mentions, in the most basic terms, this version of Verdansk is 95% a rebuilt version of Verdansk in 2020, with around 5% of the map's landscape receiving light adjustments and quality of life improvements. Veteran players remembering back to Modern Warfare 2019 seasons should think of Verdansk in Season 3 as the map that dropped in March 2020, with a few elements from the game's later seasons added, like metro station entrances and a variety of other map changes scheduled across future seasons. further expanding that it's going to be familiar, enhanced, and improved. With familiar meaning that the map is rebuilt to be the same that you remember it in around 95% of the play space. This is likely just in the case of like additional cover in open areas or something similar, where there's gonna be some deviations. They talked about how some trees aren't in the exact same position as before, and how broken down vehicles are more smoldering in their debris, so it's easier to recognize, hey, you can't drive that one, but you can drive that one. Things like that. Enhanced, they said it's just the same as Verdansk 2020 with beneficial adjustments, and improved meaning new elements within an existing area based on the current game design with quality of life upgrades in mind. This likely referring to things like the zip lines being added, which that in and of itself is an interesting way that they are approaching this here. They talk about the interior senders like the elevator shafts and the exterior senders that you'd see on the outsides of various high elevated areas. They said to maintain the classic feel of Verdansk, expect no exterior senders to be available at launch in Battle Royale except in a few very particular areas where a rival team could exploit the verticality of a building to reach a power position that is almost impossible to overrun. Yes, that means Stadium will be getting ascenders. Almost everywhere else, gameplay will be focused on other means of traversal, just as players did 5 years ago. Then, as Season 3 progresses, exterior senders are scheduled to be added across Verdansk in Battle Royale modes in the same locations as you remember them. Plunder modes will have all external ascenders available at the start of Season 3. So that's one thing that talking about those sort of adjustments to the map, we're going to see more doled out as time progresses, and we're going to see more of those being made available as the season goes on. But it's an interesting approach that they're doing this now progressively, not an all or one thing. Sure, that's something that people will either like or dislike, but that's what they're going with. And speaking of, map updates are going to be coming to points of interest around the map. Season 3 is looking to speed along the progress of the map's offering, with the original train station interior being available at mid-season, the original moving train available also at mid-season, and finally at mid-season, a redacted interior access. This, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that's going to be the stadium interior, but those coming at the mid-season update. So you have at least 4 weeks or so to play on Verdansk without that kind of stuff. But that said, key gameplay details beyond this, what you'd expect in terms of performance-wise is coming back for Verdansk. 150 players, original announcer, shooting during free fall is back, original infill sequences, original supply boxes, floating loot, armor satchels and buy station menus, thermites returning, contracts, in-match public events, field upgrades, and kill streaks are all back to the Verdansk 2020 basics. We are going to see some changes to the mechanics of the game though. Omnimovement is being adjusted. It said, Season 3 serves as an opportunity to fine-tune player movement by slightly scaling back some of the speed increases introduced over the past several months. These adjustments bring movement more in line with what players experienced in the early days of Warzone. Additionally, changes are being made to Omni sprint speed scaling and slide friction to address the strength of strafe engagements while preserving the feel of sprint strafe reloading and general movement. So basically, you're going to see a little bit of a cut to how far you can slide with that slide friction being adjusted. Other quality of life changes, things like your squad redeploy at buy stations, you're going to now have the option to redeploy all of your team if the funds are there, as opposed to having to individually buy each player back, which might not seem like a lot, but in the heat of a scenario where you're getting chased or something, trying to keep the squad alive, that can quite literally mean getting your team back on top, or kind of dooming your teammate that you end up buying back to fail because there's not enough to regroup or regain. Weapon inspect animations now have the attachments in view on that HUD, which is a cool thing here at that. That'll be pretty good for things like content creators probably, where they can easily show off what they end up having attached while inspecting the weapon. But might be something that's a bit more minor, but also if you're just a player that's like, what is this build this guy killed me with? You end up picking up the gun and you see exactly what attachments there are. So that's definitely nice as well. There's the ability to prioritize a favorite loadout in Gunsmith now. There's settings for centering on attack map zoom. Probably one of the biggest changes I think that's being made here with this season is something you might overlook, but it's a detailed death recap widget coming at the launch of Season 3. So with Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2, we had that introduction of the attackers widget on the kill cam where it showed who put damage into you. But this goes a step further by showing what you were affected by as well. Things like an unsuppressed weapon giving away your location, if you were live pinged, if a recon drone pinged you, things like if a UAV was active or a UAV tower if available, those are now all going to show up on your affected by widget, which frankly is, again, hugely important. Kill cams are not always great indicators, often really bad indicators of how people are killed. They're never 100% accurate. They sometimes have that lag effect, which can make it look like somebody's snapping to you with an aimbot and things like that. So there's many contributing factors that, while there are a ton of cheaters, yes, lack of knowledge of specifics on how you died is often scapegoated as, this guy's definitely cheating. So to see that now being something that provides more information to the player in real time, that's huge, I think. Beyond that, you're going to see updated squad widgets that will show armor plates, gas masks, and kill streaks, along with now the field upgrade being visible for each operator. And there's going to be settings for your ping duration, allowing you to control how long a ping stays on your screen. And then finally, again, at a top level here, we are going to see the maps and modes for Season 3's launch for Warzone in particular. Urzikstan is indeed going to be going away, being entirely removed, so still think a map rotation would be sick to have in the future, but I mean, that's a different story for a different day. And with Urzikstan being around for a year and a half, I'm sure plenty of people are like, I'm ready to get off this one. Area 99 is also temporarily being removed, so your launch maps or launch window maps will be Verdansk and Rebirth Island. Verdansk taking center stage and being that one on launch day. Rebirth Island is detailed as the launch window. I would imagine that's just like the weekend going in and not just launch day, but we'll see. Modes, we end up having Battle Royale, again, 150 players. There's going to be a new mode called Battle Royale Casual introduced, which is 148 players, 28 real, and 120 bots. This is something that I'm sure that a lot of people will have something to say, either having an issue with it or perhaps thinking it's cool. Doesn't feel like there's going to be an in-between with this, as with a lot of things these days. But personally, I don't think that I'm really going to be dropping into this other than to work on camos if this progresses camos through bot kills. We don't know how that's going to work out just yet, but it is something that does have potential to be pretty beneficial. Plunder quads will be available at launch with 100 players. Again, interestingly mentioning that all zip lines are there as opposed to not in BR. Warzone Bootcamp will be returning. Resurgence will be returning in the launch window. Again, likely that weekend. And then Battle Royale Ranked will be at mid-season. So that, honestly, having not played a ton of Warzone lately, I'm very excited for Warzone Ranked on Verdansk. I said it for like the almost 2 years that we had Verdansk through Verdansk and Verdansk 84, that a ranked play on Verdansk would be so sick. So I'm very excited to jump in after now 5 years of the mode being out, that we can finally play on the original map with ranked plays. So looking forward to that one. But anyways, beyond that, we're just getting down to the nitty gritty, the stuff that is very in-depth details, but that is the top level stuff of what's coming for Warzone and Season 3. So much more to discuss and still to come. Again, multiplayer and zombies reveals tomorrow. Anti-cheat blog on Friday. Whether or not it's something that we actually break down, if there's enough substance there, we'll have to wait and see. But a lot of things coming throughout the next couple of days here, leading to the launch of Season 3 to break down even further what you need to know. So stick around here on the channel if you guys are interested for that. Make sure you subscribe. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name's Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.